you people back in the Shire. Turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. We have people laughing at us while we podcast. This show is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes of Crips and Crips Real Estate. I hope this podcast goes better than the last time we did this at Shark Park. Unfortunately, the game, while better than the last game at Shark Park, is us losing 30 points to 28 to the Dolphins. Back and forth, high-scoring game. Not good enough by the Sharkies. I'm joined by two regulars in Josh Bolling and Gary Dover, kind enough with their time. And fellas, don't know why you're laughing. We should all be trying.
We just got a text from Clinton.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. Sharkies lose. They were down 22-0 after approximately, 20, 25 minutes. Came out flat as. That's my biggest disappointment of the night, the way we started the game. It blew out. We got back. We got in front, which is admirable. Hammer put the foot down, and that was all she wrote, more or less. Try at the end. Nico didn't get the goal from out wide. But, Josh, give us your initial thoughts on what happened, please.
Yeah, mate, pretty disappointing. Like you said, that first 20 minutes was like watching New South Wales Cup or something. Just not good enough. The crowd was responding to the energy that the players were giving. Just really gutted. I was expecting a good game and 2 points, and we're not getting it. And I'm pretty flat at the moment myself.
Shinazzi, I also am very flat. It's hard for me to know what went wrong because I'm in a bit of an awkward position down there on the field. I can't see exactly, every play that happens from about the 40-metre back.
Why are you on the podcast then?
Because I love you and I love the Sharks. But my point is, from my position at the dead ball line, we should have made a couple of tackles on the Hammer when he ran that 100-metre try. Let's put it that way. Well,
if you want to talk about that, we were leading in that point. There was still probably, 20 minutes to go approximately. Yeah. And nice kick down their end. Some missed tackles on the Hammer initially. Then he goes to the right, and it becomes a long kick return line break. Will Kennedy, last man in defence. As he's going for him, as he's got him, the Hammer puts the foot down one more time. It's too much. Really classy play from him. Great individual try. And it was the difference in the game, because even after that, I was saying to Josh, even after that, we didn't play bad after that. Scored a try. But that was the difference.
As you said at the start, that slow start, we just can't do that because, as we were talking before the show, you have to be pretty much perfect after that. And we nearly were, but it's just you can't let a team start that fast, especially they're like a top four side at the moment, aren't they? They're sitting pretty high up on the ladder, so you can't let a team like that get a start like that against you. And yeah, we just couldn't be that perfect side that we needed to be to bring it home.
Penalties in the first half cost us some errors, some missed tackles. Was the usual story. When we're down, we are really down. It was mentioned by some of our crew, Josh, who was sitting with that we tend to concede a whole bunch in a row and then get our act together and pull the game back in the line. Is there a reason why they conceded 22 points straight up?
We're definitely a compounding error sort of side. We never seem to be able to react well. I think the players get frustrated and, if anything, try too hard. I see Ronaldo had 2 play-the-ball errors from just trying to get up too quick, and I admire the energy, and he's trying to get the team on his back, but sometimes you just got to slow it down and take that extra second to get the play the ball done, because I think they scored off both of the errors, and that's the game there, really.
What did we make of some of the players? Who Josh, who do you think was our best out there? Is it too early to tell?
I don't think anyone really stood out. I mean, I thought Hunt again was really strong. I thought Will Kennedy, besides the missed tackle on Hammer, that I'm not really going to blame him for, was really strong and tried hard. Nakora, probably his best game of the year. Yeah. Set up a couple of tries, scored one himself. 3 line breaks, 2 tries, just a try. 41 tackles, 120-odd metres. I thought he was actually probably our best now, thinking about it.
I'll tell you what's intriguing me, boys, is the start of games. When we tend to not... We've only lost... What's that? Our 4th loss for this year. So obviously we're going pretty well overall. But in games like tonight, it seems like the forward pack can't get out of their own way in the first 20. And then the troops come on and things slowly get better and you get back in the game and then you're winning the game. But I can't work out why the starting pack, and that includes all 6 guys. I'm not just talking about the front row, for example, or the middles, but even just the edge guys. They tend to take their time to get warmed up and into the game. And it's proving costly because, we're here after the game looking at a virtually empty stadium. Gary, down this end, in the first half, in our opposition 20, we were barely there. A few times we're there. Nico sets it up for Royce to score another try. To get down there, it seemed like it took 25 minutes. I don't know. I can't work that out in our game.
Yeah, the energy, it's not like it's off, but we just seem to have flipped what we were doing last year. We would score points pretty regularly and often last year. And this year, we seem to start so slow. We're such a second half team. Bringing it home in the second half has been working so many times, but we're letting leads get so far ahead of ourselves that no matter what we do, we can't bring it back.
But I guess to further on that point, and you're completely correct, but to further on my point is that we can't get down to where we need to be until 30 minutes into the game sometimes. Not every week, but for example, tonight, we just couldn't get down there. We finally get down there and we can do some magic, but it took so much effort to get down there and I can't work that out because we like our pack and they do a good job. We like our backs. They do a great job. Maybe it was the kicking game. I don't know, but we just didn't spend enough time where we needed to be.
We couldn't find space with our kicks. We were always hitting the man. And, it's when you've got a guy like the Hammer there, he's always probably going to be in a good spot, but we just need to find a bit more open space and have a bit more variety with our kicks each week. I don't think we have a lot of variety. Like you look at when we kick off to the exact same spot every time. Every single time it's going to go to the left corner. And it's almost like our 5th tackle option. Every time it's either going to go the short side bomb to the corner or the short side hook it back straight to a man.
So we've become too structured.
I feel like we're getting a bit predictable almost, yeah.
Which is not really our strength to be predictable.
We seem to last year in particular, we would run it on the 4th and 5th a lot more than we are this year. And there's been opportunities for us even in today's game where, because we're being predictable, that's the time to be unpredictable. And I feel like we're not exploiting any of the space and opportunities that we have.
Was that last tackle that Britt made that break for Sione to score?
I'm pretty sure that was the last.
There you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, we needed to do that. There's no time left in the game.
Which is great.
Why can't we do that 20 minutes into the game and just fool someone?
Yeah, it looks like maybe they've lost a bit of their mojo, but it's more like, and we've hinted at it before on the show tonight, it's more like when they're down on their luck, they can't get out of that rut. And then something does, whether it's the bench or a mistake from the opposition or whatever, or they genuinely earned their way back into the game. So we shouldn't talk that down. But it seems like when they're down, all of a sudden they're down by 22-0. When they make a mistake, they don't want to go left or right. They just want to keep hitting it up the middle, kick, chase. And sometimes that's great, don't get me wrong. But tonight when you're chasing, you need to kind of, swing it a bit. And they did.
Yeah.
And it worked. But it was just there was just too much in the end. And the hammer try obviously was
It's almost like we're out there going let's just get through our set. Let's just make sure we don't make an error and we get to our kick.
Which is awesome in a large part of the game. It's awesome. But tonight, it was almost like they left it too late.
Do you think that teams that maybe have caught on to that we're a slow side or a side that wants to just ease our way into a game? And so teams are front-loading energy and coming at us with everything they've got, which is obviously why back end of the game we have the energy. So there's a bit of give and take there. But, looking at the last few weeks, like we've been saying when we compound errors, against Parramatta, we let them score 3 tries in a row. Then it's another 2. And then Penrith obviously was 500 tries in a row. The Broncos was 2 in a row. Then tonight was 4 in a row. It seems like when we're down and like we've been saying, when we're struggling, we heads go down and we concede 3 or 4 tries and it wakes us up again.
And it's a really good trait to have. Down 12-4 against the Broncos at Suncorp, win the game. Down 22-0 against the Dolphins at Shark Park, almost win the game. Let's not hide that fact either. They almost won the game playing not really good football. So it's a good trait to have in that it's like, you hit the emergency button and we go. Obviously, that can't be your game plan. I wonder, Gary, how the coach was feeling at halftime and full time.
Yeah, I didn't go in the sheds at halftime, but word coming out of it was that he gave him a bit more of a spray than he usually does, and obviously that sparked something. And from 22-0 down, you make it 10 points at the break, and then
Amazing.
you come out and you score a few, you get in front. Like, that's not a bad turnaround. And as you said, like, it's a good trait to have, to be able to hang in there,
Yeah.
face that adversity, come out the other side. But we just need to keep going on with it.
Yeah.
And, like, I know for me, it's like when you look back at the start of the year and you look at the draw and you look at this period that we've got right now, this was always going to be our toughest period. We're travelling a bit. We're facing a few hard teams in a row and short turnarounds.
Yeah.
These guys coming off buys like 1 week ago, like, it's a really tough period for us. And if you said to us, oh, hey, you're going to beat Melbourne in Melbourne, you're going to beat the Roosters at Magic Round,
Yeah.
and you're going to be 4 games lost all year at this point of the year, I would have taken that every day of the week.
Oh, I agree with you. And it's not about being here to razz people. It's more just, we're calling it how we see it, and we're always fair about it. But, I mean, when you're down 22-0 at home against anyone, Penrith, Dolphins, whoever, that's not a good thing. The fact they came back showed how far they've come in 3 weeks against Penrith. And people will go, well, Penrith are better than the Dolphins. Well, they are. But tonight I thought the Dolphins played almost as good as what Penrith did. Like, the Dolphins are really good tonight.
Dolphins aren't a bad side.
Not at all. They did everything near perfect, and then when they needed to, they had the moments of brilliance. So I don't think they're that far removed on what we saw at Shark Park. I'm not saying that in the scheme of things, it's Penrith Dolphins and then the rest. I'm saying what we saw at this ground, it was a very similar game. But the fact we came back, I was really happy with. I was saying to Josh, I was like, this one's gone. And I don't usually say that at all, but I thought it was gone, and I was happy to be wrong because I almost was wrong. But yeah, I think for me that the thing that's going to bug me over the next 2 weeks is the 22-0 after 25 minutes. Like, that's super annoying.
But hopefully that bugs the team too.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
It's
will.
a big game against the Bulldogs on Friday night in a couple of weeks.
So we're already looking ahead, Joshy. Ooh,
Well, the lights
out.
are gone.
It's always eerie when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he
I
comes the
used
Undertaker.
to always sit on this side of the field back when the club was open, and all the lights would go off and you'd just see everyone over there in the Chairman's Club partying, and I'd be over here working, and it was equally as depressing as tonight is.
I want to give a shout out to the Club 67. What's it called? Lounge 67. What's it
Club
called?
67
Help
up the
me
end
out.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Club 67.
Spent a bit of time in Club 67.
You got in Club 67?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
lost Sam for a
Yeah.
half an hour period.
Josh said I got home at 22-0. But I got the call up. It's a lot of fun in there.
Yeah, it's a good little space. They've decked it out really nicely, and they've got some good guests up there, so...
Yeah. That kind of eased my mind a little bit. But then I walked back into the harsh reality of the upper ET, and it was... although we were winning at that point, I think.
Maybe
I
you
know
were the
we
bad
losing.
luck when you came back.
I might have been the bad luck.
So you should have stayed in Club 67.
Man, in some ways, I'll never leave Club 67. Let's talk about some of the players, and let's go. Well, what do you think? To the halves. Nico is under a massive spotlight that won't change for a while, and that's just how it is. And I was saying to Josh that I feel some sympathy for him, especially leading into that kick. It was like, and if he doesn't get this, he's just going to get hammered from pillar to post. I didn't, I haven't got the greatest eyesight, so I didn't see the quality of the kick. I'm hearing it wasn't fantastic. It's a tough ask, but the match is on the line. It's his job to get it. He didn't. I, for one, don't blame him for that missed kick to be a reason why we lost the game. And I don't want to talk about the kick, really. I just want to talk about him, how you guys thought he went. I thought his first half wasn't great, and second half, improved. There was a bit more leadership, but not a great game from him. And as far as the spine goes, I thought probably Will was our best again. No one, though, I think, is my point, Gary. No one really stood up in that kind of individual effort like we saw with the Hammer, for example.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, it probably wasn't a great game of footy from our halves, but at the same time, it's like I feel like teams have worked out. Like when you play South Sydney, for example, right? You get under Cody Walker's skin, you get under Latrell's skin, you're going to rattle them and they're going to do something that stuffs up, gives you a penalty, you're probably going to score some points. Teams have probably figured out if you pressure Nico as much as you can and you just target him because the Sharks are going to play through a lot of their stuff through him, if he does one thing wrong, he's going to start thinking about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And it almost compounds due to everything else that's been happening off the field. And
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was a disastrous
It wasn't a bad game.
Not at all.
Bad game.
I
But I
don't
just feel like he might get in his head a little bit.
Especially with all the Origin
And the
stuff
other
and
teams
everything.
just start targeting him and targeting him and targeting him. Like,
He was one of the first to leave the field after the game, like pretty much straight away, and a lot of the body language isn't great. And yeah, there could be a million reasons why he did that, so I'm not speculating on anything. And he certainly wasn't. He didn't look like he was out of character and storming off. He was one of the first ones to leave. And I know when you are in that position, I can imagine what it's like to be in that position when you have that kick to level it, you don't get it, everyone just kind of looks at you. It's like the goalie in soccer. Why'd you let it in? Well, why'd you guys not help defend, so...
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So it's just like... I thought he had some good touches, though, and like he ran it a few good times, and like he made some good decisions, but, I mean, yeah, it's not on him to make that kick to win the game. Like, if whoever took the kick for the Dolphins, I wasn't paying attention, it would have been a Zacco.
Yeah.
But, like, he missed a pretty easy kick as well, that penalty goal. Like, we wouldn't have even been in a position to kick to...
I also think if he's on his magical left side, he
nails
probably
it.
gets it.
Yeah, I reckon he does it.
And that's just one of those things.
I think, though, in the long term, that this pain for Nico will be good for him. To be under the spotlight, stressful, not playing amazingly. Everyone's coming at him, from media to players to fans. I think this will make him a better player.
Like, I know it's personal for us because we love him so much. But I would say it about most years when it comes to Origin. It's just like that spotlight on the halves, with Mitch Pearce, Mitch Moat. Like, there's like 24 in the last 15 years of guys who step into that position, don't get the job done for whatever reason, and they're just hammered no matter what they do. Ooh, you missed a kick from the sideline. You're no good. What are you doing? You should be a labourer or something. So I just think that is getting out of control. I think you're right, Josh. Long term, he will benefit from this. He's obviously a really big mindset kind of guy, and he'll get it right.
The same thing happened last year through Origin. Like,
yeah,
he was criticised for everything under the sun, that playing out of position, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So
and then we made a run at the back end of the year, and like it all came good. So
yeah,
we just need to get out of this Origin period, back to clubland, and roll on.
That's the thing. So a lot of my mates are like, "Oh, gee, Nico wasn't good at Origin," and I'm like, A, I don't give a rat's, and B, well, let's see what he's like. Well, yeah, and B, I don't give a rat's. Let's see what he's like in September when Origin is not a thing.
Yeah,
Origin's a thing for like the winter time. The sun comes out and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Origin." Like, no one's talking about that. It's so out of control. It's basically media driven, and 2/3 of this podcast right now work in that field, and it's out of control.
I get it. Like, I love Origin.
No,
but
I'm not knocking that.
Wrong time to play it.
But I'm not knocking the platform.
So more for winning a premiership.
Yeah, but I'm not knocking Origin. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying the spotlight on these guys in 3 games is way too intense.
Especially when you're playing 73 minutes of an Origin game, a
Without
man
a guy,
down, and
Yeah.
you're getting pressured everywhere. It's the best halves in the game, and Nico's one of them.
He is.
No matter who it is, they're not going to have a great night playing against 13 guys, getting pressured on every kick, getting pressured on every play,
And
making 50 tackles.
We should point out that we have got a lot of mail coming in right now. We're not going to get to it now, but we will get to it during the week. And a lot of it isn't overly positive, which is fine because we're coming off a loss. We understand that. A lot of it is continued themes from this week, which a whole bunch of people have listened to, which Josh and I worked on, which was half our backline are no good, and let's get rid of them. And a lot of that's still coming in, so we're happy to talk about that. And you guys have been respectful, so we'll be respectful. No dramas at all. While we're talking about players, I thought our forward pack was a little bit underwhelming today, boys.
They were.
Yeah.
And you look at watching the game live, we could not put anyone down. Like, the post-contact meters for the Dolphins must be insane. I mean, we just couldn't tackle Herbie Farnworth to save our lives. I mean, we let Kenny Bromwich run for 143 meters tonight, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, and you and I talked about, Josh, that their front row is 2 second rowers, and 2 really good second rowers, international players. Like, we're not talking them down, but they're 2, edge back rowers.
At the end of their career, and they both ran, Kafusi ran for 150 meters. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, they were both great, but they shouldn't have been great.
No, they shouldn't have.
And, that's on our forwards, and it's not one person, it's all of them. And
was our rotation a little bit different tonight? Like, I feel like Cam was
It
off
felt like
and
it.
like had shorter stints, and Oregon wasn't as explosive or dynamic at the start of the game as he has been. And
Well, I thought Oregon and Toby, I thought they tried hard, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And it could have been where they were on the field. It could have been a whole bunch of things, but it definitely was different the last week.
Kaufusi had 4 runs for 33 metres.
Yeah.
You know, I think Toby had 7 runs for 68 metres. Like, you just need more from your front rowers. And I know they were tired because we didn't have the ball. So I know they were just defending the whole first half they were on. But
Yeah, let's not forget our discipline in the first half was pretty bad. So the penalties, the 6
On the
against
back
was
foot,
happening
yeah.
on the back foot. So it's not necessarily them playing bad if he's got 30 metres. It's more just, we need more than that.
Royce came on and brought the energy again. That was good.
Yeah, he
That
was pretty good.
positive, so
He's
he's
pretty
kind
good.
of found his feet the last few weeks,
Yeah.
and that's something positive we can take from tonight as well. Like, he comes on and changes the game. He comes on and scores that
Yeah.
try. He bumps Katoa off. Like, there's just damaging runs and
It's
a bit of aggression.
Like, obviously, you want him as, I guess, your first or second guy off the bench, 25, 30 minutes in. I guess then you play him until half time, and then you give him, 10, 15, probably 15 after that. And then we saw him come on at the end for Cam McInnes. That was, I think...
that was Hail Mary stuff.
I didn't want to use that word, Josh, but it was Hail Mary kind of plan because we needed to score. We needed to do something. And Royce has been our best forward, so I'm all for that. I wasn't particularly happy about Cam coming off, but that's just the math of how the bench works sometimes.
Yeah. How many minutes did Braids play?
I don't have the minutes in front of me. I don't know if Josh
I'll
has
get
got them.
them
But
for you if you just keep talking.
I don't feel like he was on for too long, but
He was good when he came
he
on.
was good when he came on.
I thought Talakai had some really good runs.
Do you know what I find with Sifa? I find that now, in the last 2 weeks that he's playing 80 minutes, he's not as impactful with his runs. Like, he's still a strong runner, and he still, like, keeps moving forward. He doesn't get taken down easily. But when he's coming off the bench, he's getting through. Like, he's busting the line and breaking tackles.
Natural, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
It's
that- I think I said to one of the guys we're sitting with, they're like, we need Teague back so we can put him back to the bench. Because then you can do that double punch of Royce and Siffer or Jack Williams or whoever it is, and they'll just destroy teams. We haven't had that for the last 2 weeks now, and also, Ueli played 18 minutes.
yeah, so not a big stint at all.
But again, coming back from injury,
Hopefully he can string some games
a
together.
couple of good runs.
Like, obviously,
line
we've got
break.
the bye coming up, so I think Teague will be back after that. I was chatting to him tonight. It doesn't seem to be too long-term or bad, so I think, if we can get him back and put Siffer back on the bench, and even a guy like Tooks, like Tommy Hazer was just getting chopped down at the legs, like they'd worked out how to tackle him. He
you
wasn't
think he
making
could
too
do
many
with a break?
meters. Like, I feel like putting Toby into the starting side and Tommy off the bench was working for a bit, but
I think with Tall Tom, I'd be happy for him to have a week or two off. I wouldn't make it more than that, and I wouldn't make him play for Newtown. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way to Newtown. I just give him the time off.
yeah, just to rest the body. And
Yeah, and he's going great. Like, he's a young kid. He's going great, but maybe he needs that time off. And then we have Tuku come in. Like, my God, if he gets it right,
Well, if Siffer goes back to the bench, he could just give Tom. He could take Tom's bench spot.
yeah, he
and
could.
and then you have that Jack Williams, Siffer, Hunt, ULA.
For sure.
But yeah, there was just a definite. I don't want to say lack of punch, but just
Lack of early punch. Punch.
But even throughout, like, Jack Williams wasn't as
Yeah, his meters were really down today.
monsterish as what. Like, they seem to be not as scary this week, the Pack, and they've been scary for a while now, and it's been great. Speaking of great, how's that Chinese restaurant going over there, Gary? Have you been yet?
I've been over there. The food was really good. Really, really good.
Oh, you were there the night before opening, right?
Yeah,
You
so
got a little preview.
Yeah, the Shark staff went over there for a little meal, and it was
that.
absolutely delicious and great view over there of the field. And yeah, it looked pretty busy there tonight. So
We gotta
hopefully
get
a
in
few
there,
people are
Sam.
booking in there. You guys would definitely have to go.
I got confirmation that an original OG SharkCaster who is no longer on the show was holding court over there,
Really?
which suits Mr. Newman's love of Chinese food, is what I'll say. So hopefully he had a good time. He wouldn't have enjoyed the boys losing.
Definitely have to get over there for sure.
We were talking to Brendan Manahan, who sits near us, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but his relative is the licensee around here, the big licensee person, which is it's interesting in its own right. But there's all these sorts of rules and regulations for the Chinese restaurant. If you're there especially with booze,
Yeah.
you can't really stand up and do a whole bunch of stuff.
No, but like...
Which is
You're
fine.
not allowed to stand at the window, but basically
Yes.
you can sit in a chair a metre away from the window and have your drink. So it's not like it's a big deal. It's still perfect
Oh,
view.
it's not oh, man. We've just lost the sponsorship there. No. I'm not talking them down. I'm just saying there's a few, safety regulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes Troy. Look at him smiling,
Sharks media man, Troy Whitaker.
knowing that his
He knows
dastardly...
things that we don't. Look at him.
His dastardly dragons are going to climb the ladder over the Sharks. That's what he's thinking. One day I'll get there. I'll show you boys.
No, he's actually converted to a Sharks fan.
Has he?
He told us about 3-4 weeks ago. So he's nodding in there.
Okay, I can live with that. That's cool. Troy's a good
So
fella.
he's all on board, Troy.
What's happening here, guys? This is like a swarm of
The
cleaners. It's impressive.
Isn't it?
Hope they get all of Josh's mess.
All my tears.
That will never be swept up. Hamlin Welly went all right for his short stint.
Well, yeah, in his short stint, it was a good stint. But
he made that big run and line break and just got ankle tapped. Otherwise, we score again because someone was coming up on his inside and it would have been another try.
I don't know if it's like an injury management thing. Like, obviously, he's missed a week, he's played a week, he's missed a week, he's played a week. So
you're not getting much more out of him.
Yeah.
Not for now, I think. But if with a bye now, and if he can get 2 or 3
That's the
games
thing.
to go in at the same time,
He looked good.
He looks really fit. He looks
Yeah.
really rock hard. So hopefully, we need him at the back end of the year.
Definitely.
Was there any significant injuries that we saw?
Not that I saw, no.
Didn't look
I think
like
Jack
it.
Williams got his ankle taped up in the first half. I think he
Okay.
was fine. He played the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe that hampered him a little bit.
I'm really impressed by this. So they just do the upper ET, right? They don't clean anywhere
They've
else.
just come from the other side. Didn't you watch them?
No.
They just swept all in front of the Peter Burns and made their way right around here.
I thought it was like a upper ET kind of snobbery thing going on,
Ivory tower
come up
stuff.
come up and clean our spot. Hey Gary, you work with some nice people. I was schmoozing with some of your colleagues tonight. So you work with some nice people.
Yeah, we've got a good group down there.
And Rob Willis.
And Rob Willis too. No, yeah, we've got a really good team at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's a good environment to work in, win, lose or draw. And yeah, some great people have come to the club recently in the last few months. And yeah, we're building a nice little team, especially our little marketing media team. We've got some new additions and yeah, loving it. Loving work at the moment.
So we're not going to read out the mail, but I'll tell you what.
Getting plenty?
We're getting lots of mail, which is great. Keep writing in. But when Dr. Cam Webb's unloading a little bit, things are not great. He says, another long weekend ahead. We can't have 8 of our blokes miss a tackle on one of theirs to give up a try. And he also said he was at the Tigers, Eels, Panthers, and the Flippers game is what he's calling them. I think that's a reference, Josh, to an old TV show you might not be aware of.
Yeah, I can't say I've heard of that.
Flipper.
Oh, Flipper, the
Dolphin.
The dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't that a movie?
It is.
Yeah,
Isn't
but it was
there
like
a
a
TV show.
It was a TV show from even
Right.
before my time, Josh, believe it or not. But Cam is even, I think, a year older than me, and so he's referencing Flipper.
I thought you guys would have been more like Free Willy guys.
Cam could be a free willy guy. I'm not a free willy guy.
What I'm getting out of Cam's message here is he's been to the Tigers, the Eels, the Panthers,
No
and
more
the
games.
Finns game. Cam, you're out.
So it's Cam.
Sorry, buddy.
We've discovered it's Cam.
We love you.
Cam, you missed the 8 tackles, not the Sharks.
You can't come anymore. I'm sorry.
Right now we're getting mail for being too jocular. Do you know what that means?
Jocular.
Yeah. It means too happy, too spirited, too... Everything's cool. Why am I asking you if you know what that means? God, I'm in such a bad mood, guys.
I'll get my
Talking
dictionary
down
out
to
next
Josh.
time.
Josh is more educated than I am. I don't know why I'm talking down to Josh. Anyway, this is the life of SharkCast. We're here for the ups and the downs.
always gets a bit
I'm
wild
pretty
up here.
disappointed. Hey,
I'm gutted.
The overall performance not good enough. I think the comeback was really great to see, and I'm glad they made the comeback because man, if they'd lost 50-0, it would have been disastrous. Tonight's not disastrous. It's just like, what the hell happened? I get it. Slow starts, it can happen. But it doesn't mean we have to like it. And
Especially at home. Like, this is our house.
it's our house, and we just... I'm not going to go say things which I'm sure our listeners are going to say, and they're welcome to say it, about how the guys were looking at the bye or the week off coming. That's rubbish. They worked hard all week. They got to the game. It didn't happen. I, as a fan, I was looking at the bye going, let's go. Come on. 2 more points. Top of the ladder.
Yeah.
Let's keep rocking and rolling. But they dropped it tonight. It sucks. It sucks. I'm looking forward to dissecting this one during the week. And
we've got a nice little patch coming up. Obviously, we've got the bye, then we've got 3
Steady
games
on.
and another bye. So it's
Whoa.
it's not as intense a period, is what I mean. It's not who
You're
we're
talking
playing.
about the
it's
weeks
about,
off. Gotcha.
Yeah, we've got 2 byes in a space of 5 weeks.
To really front load the energy.
So it's
in
like,
that
like
3-week
we
period.
can smash this 3-week period with everything we've got and know we've got a bye to just rest the body, get a few blokes
I'm
back.
just going to ask Josh, so I know it's a week off, and then it's Bulldogs
Titans at home.
At Coffs Harbour.
Titans is
Coffs
Coffs.
Harbour.
Home. Yeah.
Home. It's still home.
It's
And
home.
then Tigers
And then
at home.
Tigers at home.
Okay.
Cowboys away. Souths at home.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse,
It could be worse.
but
The
it's
Dogs
not,
will be tough.
it's not amazing either, to be honest. With those teams, some of those teams came back into form.
And you know what? Like, we're not going to Melbourne and Suncorp and back and forth across the country either.
Yeah.
Helps. It all helps.
All right. Well, this is probably the longest post-game show we've done just because we like hanging out and talking and watching other people do work while we just sit around talking about the Sharks. But if I can't have a laugh, I'm going to like seriously go into a ball in the corner and cry. So just let me have a laugh. But great to be here at Shark Park. Nowhere else I'd rather be. It wasn't too cold tonight.
No,
Like,
it was nice.
It was like, I'm not saying it was warm, but it wasn't. It was bearable.
Yeah, I thought it would be worse. I
Yeah.
always wear shorts. I'm
Gaz
still
was
wearing
out
shorts.
on the field with shorts.
Rocking the shorts.
I've got 2 jumpers on though. That's the kicker there. Usually I'm just a 1 jumper guy, but tonight was
Is
2.
it a bit of the Fitzgibbon coaching thing where, like, you know, the rumour is, I can't confirm it, that he likes to sort of train hard on game day because the boys are going to go through war, so he's going to go through war.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You're doing the same thing.
I'm doing the same thing. The
You can't
boys
wear
are
trackies out there.
Exactly. I can't go out there soft wearing trackies or anything like that and rugging up. I've got to be out there in the elements like the boys.
Yeah, well, it didn't work tonight, Gaz.
So I'm going to wear long pants next week and see
You
how
have pneumonia and we lost. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We're disappointed, and we'll be back as soon as we can for some more episodes. Just because it's the bye week, I don't think we're going to go away to Fiji. We'll probably still stick around and do some pods. So get in touch with us. Many of you have. We promise to get to you. SharkCastPod@gmail.com. We're on the socials. We're on the YouTubes. We're kind of everywhere, as I said to all of Gary's employees tonight. SharkCast Pod, we'll talk to you soon. See you later, Troy. See you during the week, or next week, probably, week after. Enjoy Fiji. Did he laugh? Hope he laughed.
He had a giggle. He did have a giggle.
All right, well, we're out of here, guys. Take care. Everyone listening, enjoy your week off. Yeah, remember these losses because the wins will be even sweeter, is what I will
Without
say.
the losses, the wins wouldn't be sweet.
That's not true. That's not even close to true.
I had to try and spin it.
I like what you're saying, and I almost went with it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Hey, the cleaners are done in the upper ET.
See how quick
That
that
was
gets
like-
done?
We can look back on that was like less than 10 minutes.
That is the start we need.
I hope they got my Asahi bottle. No bottles allowed in the upper.
You shouldn't have bottles out there, Sam. So I'm not sure what bottle you're talking about.
I'm sure it's cut that one out.
Delete. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Take care. Up. Let's go.
Sharkies! Sharkies!
Fafita tries to crash his way over, he does! Fafita got the ball over the line!
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.